Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Sunday, February the 25th, 2018, and we are here to discuss tonight's very, very disappointing WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and we are going to do that right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, baby! The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is my trusty companion, my loyal tag team partner, and the World Heavyweight Champion of microphones, Blue the Snowball. And it is time, you guys, it is time to bring the hammer down on the WWE. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV, and I don't know why I am so disappointed, because we all knew going in what the end result was going to be. And what makes me even more furious is how fantastic that Elimination Chamber main event was tonight. That match was fucking great. It was great. It was booked beautifully until the inevitable would happen, and Roman Reigns still came out on top here. And I don't understand why they didn't seize the opportunity to change things up. You have so many people in this match that this was the one and only chance that we had left for them to correct the road to WrestleMania. And I think that's probably why I'm so upset and why I'm holding this hammer so tight as I deliver this review to you guys tonight. Because it's just so much bullshit that we have to endure the same old stuff over and over and over again. For the fourth year in a row, we are going to have Roman Reigns in the main event going up against Brock Lesnar, which is a match that we have seen already, and nobody wants this. You don't want it. I don't want it. Everybody in Las Vegas didn't want it. Everybody in Las Vegas clearly was on the Braun Strowman train. You want to talk about how Monday was Monday Night Rollins, tonight was Sunday Night Strowman, people. Braun Strowman is the future of the WWE. He proved that tonight. If they book him the way they booked him tonight throughout all of last year, and from this day forward, you have a bona fide WWE future Hall of Famer on your hands. Look at the reactions he's got tonight. He eliminated every single person until he came face to face with Roman Reigns. But when now you look at it, no matter how great that match was, it was all just to make Roman Reigns look bigger than God. You know, nobody was able to contain the monster among men one-on-one. They couldn't take him down with all 5 or 6 other guys trying to gang up on Braun Strowman in the end. They couldn't eliminate him then. He took everybody's finishing move and kicked out one right after the other. He was on the receiving end of a 4-man Shield powerbomb and kicked out. Braun Strowman would not be denied on this night. He single-handedly eliminated the entire field, making himself look like the unstoppable monster that the WWE was trying to build from the very beginning with Braun Strowman, and they finally have success. Braun Strowman is over as shit. There is nobody on Monday Night Raw more over than Braun Strowman. And they fed him to Roman Reigns in the end. And the funny thing is, all week long we are hearing We are hearing all these murmurs about the steroid accusations coming back around. Johnny Bravo and Richard Rodriguez, this whole documentary that's being filmed, which is shedding light on this whole steroid debacle that, honestly, in my opinion, should have absolutely nothing to do with professional wrestling. It shouldn't. It's not a real sport. Do you give a shit if people in Hollywood are taking steroids? Why do we give a shit if these performers are taking steroids? You're a human being. It's your choice. It's the same way if you choose to smoke cigarettes. You know the negative effects. That's on you. It should be on these guys. Why is it such a big deal? Wrestling is not a actual contest. We all know this. It's a performance art. So what the hell does it matter? It's not hurting anybody but themselves. If they want to hurt themselves to make themselves look like the best, then they're the idiot for doing so, and they'll have to deal with the ramifications of it at a later date. But with all of these things coming to light once again, it's amazing to me that they didn't want to make themselves take a safe route and just go a different direction. And while making the company stay safe just in case this Roman story blows up in their face, and by taking him out, you also jolt the fans with an unknown ending, an unpredictable ending. Everybody knew Roman Reigns was going to win going in. Imagine if they did the opposite and had the final two be Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns out of the equation. The final 10 minutes of that match, every single time Seth Rollins came close to winning or gaining the advantage on Braun Strowman, would have been the most dramatic 10 minutes of the entire year in all of the WWE. Because we would know that the path has changed. As of right now, the path has not changed. They gave Roman Reigns the win, and do you know how I know? The WWE knows that that was the wrong move? Look how the show ended. With Roman laying in a heap through busted plexiglass, thrown through it by the monster that everybody wanted to see win, as he walks away victorious with his music playing and Roman Reigns laying in a friggin' pile of mush in the corner with the WrestleMania sign strategically placed over his head by the cameraman. There's something wrong with that. You know, Hulk Hogan said it when he once referenced the Ultimate Warrior and how when he defeated the Warrior at WrestleMania 6, everybody was watching Hogan leave and nobody was watching the Warrior celebrate. And that is pretty much what is happening now. Roman wasn't allowed to celebrate tonight. He got his ass beat because even the WWE knew the crowd was not going to be happy with Roman Reigns winning on this night. If you know that going in, why would you think they're going to be happy with a WrestleMania main event that they don't want to see? Obviously, you're aware that you're going down a path that we do not want to go down. I wish among all the brightest stars in the sky that Braun Strowman would have won tonight, but wishes are for fishes and they don't friggin' matter. Wishes are not what dreams are made of. Wishes are not what pave the road to success. Kissing ass paves the road to success. John Cena has paved the way, the template for that. And apparently the big dog is following suit. And I don't wish bad on anybody. I don't wish for anything negative to happen to anybody. But I think one of the funniest things in the world will be if this steroid thing blows up somewhere along the lines on the road to WrestleMania and the WWE have to change everything. And they had the opportunity here to make it look like a genius maneuver, and instead they're going to be scrambling on the fly on the last minute to change everything because they were not smart enough to see the writing on the wall, even though it is clearly being broadcast for the rest of the world to see. On Instagram, on Facebook, social media, it's all over Twitter. Everybody's talking about it. Well, actually, nobody's talking about it, to be honest with you. I haven't seen many stories on it, but it's all over social media. It's all over social media. This guy, Johnny Bravo, today tagged Brock Lesnar in one of the latest pictures that he's posting as he's continuing to film this documentary, which supposedly holds proof, concrete evidence, implicating Roman and 15 other superstars in this steroid scandal, which is said to be, by those insiders that know anything, a WrestleMania breaking announcement which will have serious ramifications throughout the card. So there's some food for thought. Let that rumble around in your head as you realize that the winner of tonight's Elimination Chamber, the previously known main event of WrestleMania being Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, is actually right now in very, very hot water and may not actually be happening by the time we get to WrestleMania. All that being said, this show tonight, that match was fantastic. The women's match at the beginning of the show was actually pretty good. Everything else in between you could have took a nap for, because as we said on the preview show, all that was filler. All of it was nothing, and nothing made sense to me, and nothing even was that entertaining to me. One of the things that pissed me off the most tonight was actually the fans in Vegas during the Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt matchup. Now, I'm all for having a good time at a WWE live event, but if you're one of these people that bring a beach ball to the show with you, you're clearly doing it to be a disruption. Now, I know the company is not giving you the quality entertainment that you're used to seeing. Then why the fuck did you buy a ticket? Why did you buy a ticket to go to Monday Night Raw to play beach ball? If you want to play beach ball, and that's what you want to do on a Sunday night in Las Vegas, go to the friggin' casino that has a simulated beach, or go play somewhere in the desert with your goddamn beach ball, and stop distracting it from a performance that's going on in the ring. These guys are literally risking their lives for your entertainment, and you want to play fucking beach ball. In the proper context, I love a good beach ball. But at a WWE event or at a wrestling event, beach balls suck. And tonight was a clear example why. Obviously, the security at some point got their hands on said beach ball, took it away, and the crowd had the balls to chant, "We want beach ball!" It infuriated me. Not to defend the crowd, but the WWE is not doing the right thing by this whole entire storyline. Bray Wyatt versus Woken Matt Hardy died at the Raw 25 anniversary show when Bray Wyatt pinned Matt Hardy in 4 minutes. Then you want to go out there tonight and have them have another match where Woken Matt Hardy, as I said in my prediction show, will get the win and now even the score at 1-1. Do you have any reason to care? They've given us nothing up until this point. Nothing but ridiculous promos. The first time they did it, it was great. But when it became the only thing they wanted to do with this segment and with this storyline, it became rinse and repeat over and over again, the same old shit with this storyline. We wanted to see the Wyatt family compound. We wanted to see them go to the Hardy family compound. We wanted to see Vanguard 1 and Senor Benjamin involved. But now take a look from the outside looking in. Let's say Matt Hardy does have his whole entire family with him, right? He gets Rebby, he's got Maxwell in tow, he's got Brother Nero coming back, he's got this whole clan, the whole broken universe behind him. What the hell does Bray Wyatt have? His family is bludgeoning people on the other show. And the only other member of his family is a babyface now that is destroying everything in his path, but is getting no clear path to a Universal Championship title. So if there's no Wyatt family, what is the broken universe actually fighting? Sister Abigail is not an actual person, it is an unknown entity still at this moment. Thankfully, it's not just Bray Wyatt and drag, and they dropped that whole thing. Hopefully, we don't see a resurgence of that. But this storyline needs to kick it up a notch. It needs to kick it up in a big way. I don't want this to be a back and forth bullshit of, you know, ha ha ha, we're laughing at you and we're playing chess and all this mental bullshit only to have a compound match at WrestleMania. Wyatt and Hardy should conclude this thing at WrestleMania. You got 6 weeks until then. 6 weeks of Monday Night Raw television where we should see more creative, compound stuff. Let Matt Hardy be in complete creative control. Stop taking what he's trying to do and scripting it in the WWE way. Just let him go. He's not going to go off on a tangent that's going to embarrass you in a negative way. Look at what he's doing in the ring tonight. He had the crowd for a little while at the beginning, and he's doing this new thing where he's applauding his opponents. It's very intriguing, and this match was actually very good if you were paying attention, but the distraction of the crowd and the disinterest of the crowd, and that they were caring more about the beach ball, and actually at one point were chanting for Rusev Day, which I don't blame them, because I want to see Rusev Day just as much as the next guy. But this match had the potential to be so much bigger and should be so much grander than it is, and the WWE has nobody to blame but themselves. It's not Matt Hardy's fault. It's not his gimmick's fault. It's not Bray Wyatt's fault. It's your fault. You're the ones that keep making Bray Wyatt look like a non-entity. That, yeah, he's got all this stuff. He likes to be a prophet. He likes to spout out nonsense and get in your head with mind games. But what good does it do when all the guy does is lose? You essentially did the same thing to Woken Matt. He comes in, he has this Raw 25 match, and he loses to Bray Wyatt. So why even bother continuing? And now we have this match in the middle here, which is seemingly meaningless. Their efforts were for nothing. Just like the Elimination Chamber. All the effort, all the spectacular athletic maneuvers, everything that we've seen and enjoyed for that half an hour, all at the very end was sucked away. All that enjoyment, all the fun, all of the prospect of maybe a new road to WrestleMania sucked away. The Women's Chamber match, let's talk about that one. Although it was predictable, and the, individual stare downs after each entrance went a little long for my taste. Why they had to actually all circle the ring and go to each pod and stare and do a little, nod action, right? And a little bit of this. Unnecessary. Move it on. Next. That's why this show ended at almost 11:30 at night. All this unnecessary added nuance. Just get in the fucking ring and fight. It's wrestling. It was predictable, but this match didn't really actually pick up until we were in the stage with the final 3, and we had Sasha Banks and Bayley left alone with the defending champion, Alexa Bliss. And I swear to God, the minute I seen this, all I could think of was the Lion King. Sasha Banks is standing on top of the pod with Alexa Bliss. Bayley wants to come up and help her. Apparently, Bayley's got some kind of a plan. Sasha goes to pick her up and then kicks her in the face and lets her fall down onto the steel grating below. Definitely reminded me of that scene where Scar had his brother Mufasa by the hands, able to save him and lift him to safety, but then let his blood brother fall to his death. It was very, very reminiscent of that. I don't know why I went Disney in that moment. It's just what I thought of. I was like, wow, that just reminded me of that. Holy cow. And I needed to share that with you guys. But after that, this match took on a whole nother dynamic. There was drama, there was tension automatically built up, Every move that the boss made, you were interested in. Every time she touched fingers with Bayley, we were like, uh-oh, what's going to happen now? Bayley's pissed. Sasha's apparently in for business for herself. And the champ is sitting back watching this whole thing happen. The girls made a good use of the cage. I did not actually enjoy that little acrobatic session where they were pretty much just climbing up and down and up and down. If I wanted to see all that up and down, I'd go play Donkey Kong and watch myself go up and down the ladders with my little hammer going bam, 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 knocking out little barrels and shit on my way to the monkey up top. I don't need to see Alexa and, Sasha and Bayley up and down, blam, 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 like I'm watching fucking Pac-Man on the screen. Ridiculous. But it was okay. It was okay. And in the end, the champ would get the win here, and I'm alright with that. I'm not alright with the interview segment that went on after. Not the fake babyface promo she did at the end. I thought that was genius, and I knew right from the beginning when she was feigning crying and being like, I did this for the little girls and this and that. I'm like, she's full of shit, and she absolutely was when she turned heel right at the end, threw it in everybody's face, and I thought that was great. The interview she had with Charlie Caruso bot in the back, talking about how apparently now that Alexa's defended the championship and she was successful at the Elimination Chamber, she is obviously on the road to WrestleMania to face Asuka. And I'm sitting on my couch like, why is Charlie Caruso saying this? How does she know this? Did Asuka tell Charlie that she's fighting Alexa? The WWE leaking something out that's not supposed to be known just yet? What is the premise of this interview? Why is this even happening? Asuka hasn't made her decision public yet, right? How does Charlie fucking Caruso know? She's gonna face Asuka. That's terrible. We don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. We want to see Asuka and Charlotte. That's what everybody wants to see. Alexa versus Naya. I will take that. I will take that if you're going to give me at least the women's match that I want to see. We all know Ronda Rousey is going to be a non-issue as it comes to the women's championships on either brand come WrestleMania, thanks to this contract signing that we had tonight. Did you guys enjoy that? I didn't pretty much enjoy it. I thought Kurt Angle looked like a blithering idiot. It made no fucking sense. Ronda Rousey comes out to one of the worst punk rock songs of all time. I've always hated that song. I don't know why. I've hated it my whole life. They used it in the first Shrek. Remember the first Shrek movie? They used that Bad Reputation song, and it's like my least favorite part of the movie just because of that song. The scenes are funny, but the song just grates on my ears. And if that offends you, I'm sorry. It's not that I'm against punk rock. I like punk rock. That's just not a song that appeals to me. And it doesn't fit as an entrance theme. It's just too much. Maybe if the Ultimate Warrior was coming out and wanted to do all this Bad Reputation. I never liked it. But at least her jacket fit, right? She got the same exact fucking coat she had last time. She's got the Roddy Piper replica coat, but at least it's tailored to fit her body, and she looked like a normal-sized person in some normal-sized clothes. I could be grateful for that. We gotta take a win where we can, right? But the rest of this was just the McMahon family hour. You know, who cares? Who cares? And in the process, you make Kurt Angle look stupid. Stephanie and Triple H are so happy to have this signing. Ronda's about to sign this contract, and Triple H and Kurt are bickering like two kids at the end of the table. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And Ronda Rousey apparently hears what they're talking about, or her attention was piqued over there for some reason. She's like, Kurt, what are you talking about? And then Kurt wants to start talking shit. Oh, Triple H and Stephanie said that you were a bitch. And Triple H is like, shut up, Kurt. And then Stephanie's like, yeah, shut up, Kurt. And then Kurt shuts up and walks away with Triple H, and then's like, oh wait, by the way, Stephanie says you're a has-been, and this and that, and Triple H is standing right there. Why didn't Triple H knock him the fuck out? He's Triple H. That's what Triple H would have done. He would have done it the first time in the ring. No, he's trying to walk Kurt Angle out. He's going to get him his medication because Kurt Angle don't feel good. Kurt Angle's just spouting off at the mouth like a friggin' child trying to be a tattletale. This is an Olympic gold medalist. This is the Raw general manager. Acting like a 5-year-old. What are we watching here? Ronda Rousey throws Triple H through a table. Gets smacked in the face by Stephanie. Once again proving just by that moment, by the fact that this whole segment ended with that moment, it's not even about Ronda Rousey. It's about the fact that Ronda Rousey's going to fight Stephanie McMahon. And who cares? What a waste of Ronda Rousey's first match, especially at WrestleMania. You know, this whole women's revolution and all this shit that we've been put through for the last 3 years, I'm all for it and I love it, but it's took a real downward tanking in the last year. Everything we've seen, you cannot deny, the women's division is the weakest it's ever been, especially during this women's revolution evolution, they want to call it. But this whole thing was kicked off based off of the power of Ronda Rousey's influence in the UFC. If Ronda Rousey doesn't do her thing in the UFC a few years back, the women's division gets no attention. Vince and company said, hey, there's something to this women's fighting thing. We don't have to do pillow fights and lingerie bullshit. Look, Ronda Rousey's going out there and breaking people's nose, and people are buying it by the millions. Let's maybe take the girls we have and make them more legit. We got Charlotte Flair, we got some legit second generation talent, we got some good girls coming up. Maybe we could do something here, and you did. Congratulations, everybody was on board, but then you blew it. You blew it big time with this women's division, and the brand split is the biggest culprit that made the women's division suck the way it did. But Ronda Rousey is the reason for all of this. Imagine, on the other hand, if maybe you would have had Ronda coming in, and you build her up versus one of your homegrown talents or somebody from the WWE for this epic first ever WrestleMania encounter. In fact, the right move here would have been to have Asuka come in right from NXT, undefeated, and take out the champ and give her the belt. And then allow Asuka to run through the 6 girls over and over again, proving that nobody's ready for Asuka, until at the Royal Rumble, Ronda Rousey comes in, competes in the Royal Rumble, and wins it. Earns her chance at the main event at WrestleMania for the women, fights Asuka at WrestleMania, and then however you want to book it, you could book it. They'd probably give it to Rousey and end Asuka's winning streak. But look at how Asuka came to the dance. And then that would be a great way to legitimize Ronda Rousey if that's truly what they wanted to do. I wouldn't do that. I would make Asuka go over Rousey and then make Rousey her biggest rival over the next year, building it up even further for Rousey when she finally wins that belt, maybe at SummerSlam or Survivor Series later on in the year. Or maybe even at WrestleMania the following year, and just have it be the year of Asuka versus Rousey. And they can put on awesome matches. You could do MMA style matches, strong style for the women. First time ever women's MMA style match in a WWE ring with Asuka and Ronda Rousey. There's a million things you could have done here. But instead we're getting Ronda Rousey and apparently Kurt Angle, who's a blithering idiot, versus Triple H and Stephanie. Triple H apparently is so out of shape, he's getting power slammed by girls. Okay? By girls like Ronda Rousey. Triple H, the game. Right? However many times, 13-time World Heavyweight Champion, allowing himself to put over Ronda Rousey. I guess that's fine. There's nothing really wrong with that. I just think this is a waste of Ronda Rousey's first moment, and all this press and all of this stuff that's coming in is going to effectively be pushed to the McMahons simultaneously, instead of at the same time building up a Charlotte Flair or an Asuka side by side with this media juggernaut that is Ronda Rousey. That would have been the right thing to do. What else do we have to talk about on this show? Really? What else is there? Some of the highlights of the night were not even in the wrestling ring outside of the Elimination Chamber matches. Elias coming out and being the first person in the chamber as the lights went out, and Elias had the spotlight shown on him bright in the middle of the chamber, just played the crowd better than he plays his guitar. And he plays that guitar pretty damn good. But he is a master manipulator of the crowd. The way he was able to have the crowd cheering for him in 1 minute and then booing him to no end in the next just solidifies the fact that he is one of the best characters on this brand. He's not too bad of a wrestler either. He's absolutely great. He, to me, screams Intercontinental Champion. He just reminds me of a modern-day honky-tonk man, a guy that can actually play his guitar, by the way, and it would just be perfect. Imagine the matches we could get: Elias versus Rollins, Elias versus Balor, Elias versus Joe, and just have him be that quintessential Intercontinental Champion, just digging into everybody, playing songs and ribbing everybody. He would be fantastic in that role. He was not needed in tonight's Elimination Chamber, though. He did not play much of a factor in the match, so his involvement in it is questionable at best. And they could have just left it 6 men. Titus O'Neil and Apollo get a shot at the bar again. We all knew that was going to end the way it did. The Bar is still your WWE Tag Team Champions of Monday Night Raw. Somebody in the back left an Asuka mask on the floor. And the WWE cameraman's like, hey, let me take a shot of this mask on the floor. And as he decides to do that, Nia Jax stomps it and breaks it while she's on her way to make her entrance to fight Asuka and earn her way into the Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. How amateur do you get? I felt like I was watching some sort of B-movie footage or a real bad student film where they do these shots, you know, like these real art house kind of shots, something to make you think. They held on that mask for so long before the foot came down that I'm literally sitting there waiting like, wait, is Asuka in that mask? Are we in the dark and the lights on the mask? Are we looking at the Titantron? What's going on with the mask? And then the foot stomps the mask. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is just some really bad writing. Absolutely unnecessary. Stupid. Stupid stuff. And then the match itself was just awful. Everybody's going to say, oh, it was great. Asuka really came from behind. Asuka shouldn't be coming from behind. Asuka squashed Nia Jax many times before in NXT. It is not a new thing. This has actually happened before. We've been over this. We talked about this on the preview, you guys. This is nothing new. I've seen firsthand Asuka defeat Nia Jax in a questionably, marginally good match during NXT. Tonight's match was admittedly better than that match. But the amount of offense and the way they made Nia Jax look like such a monster, she was equal to Braun Strowman tonight. As far as the women's division is concerned, that's the way she should have been booked from day one. But you want me to look at her tonight in this match with Asuka and forget that she's been pinned by Bayley on Monday Night Raw? You want me to forget that how many times she's lost since she's been brought up to the main roster? You want to forget that her biggest contribution to the show all year is her friendship with Alexa Bliss? And that's not even really part of the actual show. I get more enjoyment out of watching them on Instagram as friends. Why they don't translate this to the actual show, I will never know. But none of this should have even been happening. None of this should have been happening. It was hard-hitting. Asuka gets the win, thank God. The way they booked this match, I actually wasn't sure for quite some time. But then just like they did with the men's Elimination Chamber, Asuka gets the win. She's going to WrestleMania, but at the end of this thing, they make Nia Jax attack Asuka and send her through the barricade. Why? Why try to get Nia Jax over at the expense of Asuka, who should be the most dominant and the most threatening individual in all of the women's division? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Asuka should be being protected. She should be the prime focus of the women's division. The WWE obviously doesn't see things that way, as they found it necessary to protect Nia Jax's image with this unnecessary post-match attack, because Nia Jax is so disappointed that she didn't get to main event the WrestleMania Women's Championship. Garbage. Absolute garbage. What else did we have here? We talked about this contract signing. We talked about the chamber for the most part. I don't need to go over everything. There was a lot of good moments. As far as wrestling goes during this night, everything else just didn't matter. The winners and losers didn't matter. Nothing at all changed along the road to WrestleMania. It's going to be an interesting week as the news continues to pile up. But this Elimination Chamber, I mean, I guess if I had to grade it, I'd give it a C, because the chamber matches were good, except for the fact that they were very predictable. Roman won, Alexa won, nothing's really changed. The WrestleMania 34 main event didn't change, so we are all headed down a path that none of us want to go, and that is why we had to bring the hammer down on the Elimination Chamber tonight on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for joining me. That's going to be the review for tonight. I'm exhausted. This show exhausted me. It's friggin' later than I really wanted to be. I was hoping that this show would have been over earlier and that I would be done with this earlier, but it is not that early, and we are going to call it a night on that. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you are still here at this minute on this video, I want you to do me the biggest favor in the world, man, and it will be absolutely awesome of you if you would join the family here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show and smash that subscribe button right now. Smash it real good. Become a member of the Sledgehammer Club today. Hit that notification bell right next to it so you do not miss an episode. Each and every time an episode just like this one drops, you will be notified on your laptop, in your pocket, on your phone, on your tablet, on your smart TV, wherever it is that you take in your wrestling news. Make this the place you come to get it, because we are taking over YouTube one view at a time, and you make the difference. And if you hit that subscribe button right now, you will be joining a community of wrestling fans that is unlike any other. A knowledgeable, respectful community of fans that love professional wrestling and love everything that we do here at Sledgehammer TV. And once you've become a member, or even if you decide not to subscribe right now, don't forget to smash that thumbs up if you enjoyed this broadcast today. Share this video with all your wrestling friends and make sure that they come along for the ride here at Sledgehammer TV, because, like I said, we're taking over and we are bringing the hammer down where it is needed on the world of professional wrestling. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Blue, the Snowball Microphone, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones. Tonight was Sunday Night Strowman. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV, only on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Have a good one.